For decades, bringing a high-end creative vision to life required massive capital, specialized machinery, and rigid, inflexible pipelines. Execution was a physical barrier that kept most ideas locked in the imaginations of their creators. This data shows the scale of the transition. 87% of creative professionals are now using AI tools in their daily workflows. The historical barrier to entry has effectively collapsed. We saw a preview of this transition in the 1990s, when digital audio software collapsed a $1 million physical recording studio into a single laptop. Today, that in-the-box compression is happening to high-end visual and video production. Anyone with an internet connection can execute visual effects, cinematic lighting, and complex animation. When the cost of execution drops toward zero, technical skill loses its value as a competitive moat. Success now depends on the speed and clarity of a creator's ideas. Yet, having abundant tools creates its own problem. Generation is easy, but the creative process is fragmented across dozens of disconnected applications. Creators lose hours hunting for files, managing overlapping subscriptions, and manually forcing incompatible systems to share data. This fragmentation also creates severe legal blind spots. When assets bounce across isolated platforms, creators lose digital provenance, the verifiable history and origin data that proves human authorship and secures copyright ownership. Ultimately, this friction leads to user slop, low-quality, mass-produced content generated to meet a deadline by overwhelmed professionals. They are simply too overwhelmed by tool management to apply their strategic vision. Without a unified infrastructure to connect these tools, the technology generates administrative noise rather than artistic value, trapping creators in a new kind of digital bureaucracy. To escape this trap, we must look at how AI changes the physics of creative production. For decades, the industry relied on a rigid, linear relay race. You moved a project sequentially from brief to strategy to creative to production and eventually to a high-stakes approval phase. That pipeline has been replaced by a continuous cycle of ideation, generation, and refinement. We call this the death of the drawer. Instead of filing away risky or expensive ideas because they cost too much to prototype, a creator instantly visualizes them to see if they work. A solo artist can now test a complex aesthetic concept and achieve hyper-detailed visual fidelity in a matter of hours, rather than enduring weeks of expensive research and development. This iterative cycle rewards rapid experimentation. When failure is fast and cheap, creators can freely explore bold concepts that were previously too risky. This workflow has created a new class of professional, the AI Auteur. These are creative directors who use algorithms to execute manual labor, allowing them to focus entirely on their distinct taste and vision. Their value isn't derived from clicking buttons in software. It comes from their ability to translate raw intuition, the specific vibe of a piece, into the precise, actionable language that an AI system understands. By treating the AI as leverage, a single auteur can scale their output to match the capacity of an entire production company. This workflow specifically serves creators with hyperphantasia, the ability to experience photorealistic imagery in their mind's eye. They can finally extract those inner visions and fuse complex aesthetic styles effortlessly. The AI Auteur doesn't compete on volume or production value alone. They compete on the uniqueness of their creative fingerprint and their ability to command intelligent systems. To wield this level of power without being slowed down by administrative friction, the AI Auteur requires unified infrastructure. Most current software platforms solve only one layer of the creative stack, providing a model, a creation tool, or a monetization method, while forcing the creator to manually bridge the gaps. Talonsight uses an infrastructure-centered design. Coordination logic is placed at the very base layer. This supports a terminal layer where creators move seamlessly between mediums: audio in Sonic Genesis, animation in Talon Motion, and images in Talon Vision within one shared environment. The system uses a POW ledger to automatically track artifact lineage. This creates a permanent, verifiable history of how an asset was created, solving the industry crisis of copyright and provenance in the background. Talonsight serves as the central nervous system of the modern creator economy, converting fragmented AI speed into secure, scalable power. Success in the creative industries is no longer defined by mastering mechanical tools. It has become a discipline of strategic orchestration. The creators and businesses that thrive will be those who treat AI as leverage, directing algorithms to achieve specific, highly curated outcomes. Hesitating to adopt an integrated foundational infrastructure will eventually cost companies their market share and creative relevance. The ultimate promise of this unified ecosystem is absolute creative freedom, backed by a technical architecture that scales with a creator's ambition. With unified infrastructure handling the technical burden, the final differentiator is the strategic depth behind the vision.